Did you miss it or did you ignore it? Part 2 from a different perspective. What's up, QC fam? It's Queen Chef, author, healer. I am a chef by trade, writer by gift, healer by nature. And I like to talk all things healing. I like to talk about self-mastery, spirituality specifically. And I do that by addressing 4 topics. Those are self-love, energy alignment, addressing inner child wounds, and purpose discovery. So today, this is kind of I made a video about ignoring versus missing it from a different perspective when you are the person that has been offended. Now, this time, I want to talk about the fact that basically nothing happens out of nowhere. Nothing. And before anybody even try it, I am not going to be victim blaming, victim shaming. Yes, I know that people pretend, people hide who they are, people wear masks. Yes, all of that considered, I am still going with nothing happens out of nowhere. And I'm going to give you 3 questions. 3 questions to ask yourself, to ask and answer for yourself that are going to help you to assess how to change this. Because, so this is the thing. A lot of times, hindsight really do be 20/20. A lot of times you think back on stuff and you like, oh, you know what? This is what XYZ meant. This is what blah, blah, blah meant. Oh, when this was going on, that's what was happening. And when I thought they was doing this, they was actually doing this. And you know what I'm saying? A lot of times you get it after the fact, but that does not mean you just missed it because it was not there. You ignored it or you weren't paying attention, or I don't know which one it is. That's for you to determine. That's for you to decide. I don't know exactly which one, but what I will say and what I stand on, nothing comes out of nowhere. There are always some kind of signs, no matter how big, no matter how small, no matter how subtle. There are always signs. And sometimes the sign is not the thing that's being hidden from you. It's the fact that something is being hidden at all that we're not being tuned into. So, and I don't want this to be long, so I'm going to get straight into it. My 3 questions for you to ask and answer for yourself to help you in future situations. Because one thing we got to get better at is actually utilizing pattern recognition. A lot of us are good at that, even if it's after the fact. In the next situation or the next relationship or the next job or the next process or whatever it is that you're doing or going through, think about how it played out the first time. You've collected that data. Now, that doesn't mean every single thing is going to be the exact same. Yes, caveats. We know things change, things are different. Situation, everything's on a case-by-case basis because this is real life. We are humans. We are a lot more complex than a lot of people realize we are. So everything has to be handled on a case-by-case basis. However, your pattern recognition is a tool that you should be using it just in your data collection. So as you are going throughout life, moving throughout life, those signs, something should trigger your mind to think, I've seen this before. I've heard this before. Let me pay attention to it. I don't have to react the same way. I don't have to react all big, outright, right out the gate. But this feels familiar. Let me just pay more attention here. You know what I'm saying? Too many times we'll see something and be like, oh, well, I want to give this a new and a fair chance. I'm all about that. Trust me. I'm as open-minded as they come. I'm all about that. Everybody, everything, every new person, every new relationship, every new opportunity, it gets its own chance. But we can't just flat out ignore like the signs that we see or the patterns that we've seen in the past. You gotta have a special compartment for things that say you don't want to push them to the back just because it's like, well, this is a new person or this is a new opportunity. This is a new business partner. So I ain't gonna punish them for, I get it. And I 1000% agree with you on that. Every new person, every new thing is their own new opportunity. One thing I like to tell people, if somebody start to get on my nerves and like it's saying in a romantic sense, we're dating or we're talking or whatever, and somebody's starting to look like it's not gonna be nothing, I'm quick to tell everybody, look, everybody, I don't punish nobody for anybody else's past mistakes. Everybody get their own opportunity to get on my nerves. I tell them quick. I will tell them quick. So I get it. I understand. You want to give everybody their own opportunity, and you want to give life and you want to give different opportunities in life their own chance. And you don't want to be harbored down, because a lot of time we let that stuff like hold us back from trying new things, from doing new things, because it's like, I've seen it before. Nope, they doing this, they doing that. You got to have a special compartment for the things that you don't want to push away and put to the back of mind. You want to have them just right over here to the side, like, mental note. I'm going to keep that right here. I ain't going to tuck that away. I ain't going to react right away, but I'm going to tuck it right here. I'm going to keep an eye on that. I'm going to keep that, close. Just utilizing pattern recognition. But let's get to the questions. The first thing I want you to ask and answer when it relates to, are you ignoring stuff or did you actually miss it? First thing, ask yourself, what are the distractions in your life that are causing you from paying attention to your day-to-day activities? A lot of times stuff be going on right in our face, but we don't necessarily get to decode what it is or what it means, or we don't necessarily spend time with it, or we miss it because we're distracted. So again, that's not outright ignoring it, but the better question would be, are you missing it or are you just not paying attention? So let's say that. Are you just not paying attention? So first question, ask and answer. What is going on? What are you distracted by that is keeping you from paying attention in your day-to-day life? Yes, I know the past has important things in it. Yes, I know we got to prepare for the future. Prepare for the future. But something is distracting you, whether it be your job or you stressed about bills, economy, politics, whatever. Something is distracting you when you can't pay attention to the things that go on in your day-to-day. Whether it be with your children, your partner, on your job. If you constantly missing stuff, missing signs, and bad things are happening as a result, or because you missed it or you ignored it, you didn't really miss it. You just might have a little bit too much going on. You might have too many distractions and you're not learning how to be present. So figure out what those distractions are and learn how to be present in every conversation. Because a lot of times you can hear a lot of what people plans are, what they finna do, what they plan, or what they think they finna do with business opportunities. You can hear a lot and see a lot more when you're just more present in your day-to-day. Stop future planning in the midst of having present conversations and having opportunities to gather information in the present. Your mind already in the future. It's kind of like when you first start dating somebody new and everything's just seeming so perfect, and you done already pictured yourself in a wedding dress. For why? For why? For what? Why is you doing that? Stop. Stay right here. Let's focus on this right here so you don't miss what is being said. You don't miss them signs and them sometimes goddamn daggers that be getting thrown at you, and you miss them because you future planning already. So figure out what those distractions are, address them. 2, what kind of communication is being done outside of what is being said? So let me rephrase that better. When a person is communicating with you, what might you be missing or not paying attention to that they're not saying? So meaning you can't only listen to words. You cannot. You cannot. You can't only listen to words. You have to pay attention to body language. You have to be able to pay attention to the things they're not saying. Sometimes when a person says something, I will reword it a different way and say it back to them to clarify, just to make sure we're on the same page. I'm saying the exact same thing you just said, but I'm going to reword it a different way just to make sure that I didn't miss anything. I'm going to reword it in the way that I understand. And a lot of times people will be, if they really paying attention to, they'll be like, yeah, that's what I just said. I was like, okay, I'm just making sure. I'm going to reword it in a way I understand, just so I know we on the same page. It's been said this way. It's been said this way. it shouldn't be no confusion about what's going on. Feel me? So, what else do you need to pay attention to when things are being communicated to you besides what is just being said? How else can you pay attention? So, like I said, body language, physical things, actions. We got to start putting more emphasis on actions. Baby, I could tell you anything. I heard that one time in my life where it really just crushed my soul. I learned how to play cards, young cards, big in my family. We don't play by spades. It gets there. We goes there. And what somebody was teaching me, one of my older cousin's friends was teaching. I was in the process of learning, so everybody at the table was teaching me. I had to be like 9 or 10. I'm young. I learned young, y'all. I've been playing for a long time. But so I'm learning how to play spades. I'm at the table, and he says, he said something like, "Oh, I got blah blah blah." He tell me he got a club, or he tell me he ain't got no spades, and I believe it. I'm 9, 10, whatever. I just believed it. I don't know what reason I had to think he might lie, other than the fact that he's your opponent. But everybody at the table is supposed to be teaching me, right? I played my card. This man come and cut my card. I look at him in complete shock. And you know, this meant a lot to me because I've never forgotten it, and I've never forgotten that saying. This man looked me square in my eyes and said, "I could tell you anything." That's how you have to treat people until you are certain, until you have gathered all information, using all facets, using all sources, not just what you are being told. The gathering of your own information, like I said, the body language, the physical things, the actions, you got to pay attention to a little bit more than just what's being said. Because, baby, I could tell you anything. I never forget it. And the last question, the last thing that you have to ask yourself, ask and answer for yourself, am I operating from a place of honesty, integrity, purity? Or am I operating from a place of desperation, need, greed, scarcity? Ask yourself that. And when you determine where you are operating from in a situation, it helps you to also be more alert and more aware of where anybody else is operating from in the situation. And like I told y'all, when I bring up these situations, a lot of times they will apply for like relationships, romantic stuff, but it applies across the board. Business, job, family relationships. It applies across the board. If you in relationship with any other human, you're in environments with other people, it applies. Are you operating from a place of need, greed, scarcity, or are you operating from purity? Because, and this is why this matters, it's not just that whole cliche like, oh, what you are, you attract. It's about the frequency. It's about the vibes. It's about the energy. If you are operating from a low vibrational place, that is just what is going to gravitate towards you. It's not that, oh, this is not my fault. I didn't do this. I didn't betray myself. I didn't lie. I didn't do this. Maybe not. But if you operating from a low level place, you tend to get low level results. You tend to get the type of results that end in a low level situation for you, that leave you high and dry. So if you operate from a place of greed, and then you get into a bad business deal and that person end up being a shyster or a scammer, or y'all get into some shit, but you, in your mind, you didn't necessarily do anything wrong because you didn't, you're not a scammer. You're trying to be honest with people, but are you being greedy? And you got greed in the mix. You got the low level stuff in the mix with you. So ask yourself that when you get into dating situations, when you're going to start a new job, when you're going to find a new place to live, what are you doing it for? What is this communication? What am I bringing to this plan, to this space, to this opportunity? What am I bringing? What am I coming with? And that's going to help you determine on the back end where it might end up. Let me give you one other example. I'm going to get y'all up out of here. When the whole gold digger thing. And this is a lot of times, I ain't gonna lie, this is a lot of times where I say that Shira 7 stuff is just the other side of the coin to that Kevin Samuel stuff. Because like, it's just two sides of the same coin. Because if you're operating from a place of gold digging, greed, seeing what you can get, and before anybody come for me, because I don't usually drop nobody names about nothing I think about, because that's just not my thing, but I wanted to make that point clear. Anyway, before anybody say anything, there has been proof of those teachings going bad as well. A lot of people get on here and tell you how it went well, and oh, I got this and I got that, and I'm sugar daddy, this and that and that. But you don't hear the bad sides nearly as much about how you went after something for abuse, for greed, or for gold digging purposes, to see what you get out of it. You don't care nothing about this person, nothing about them, and then they turn out to be, what's a word I can say on here? I don't know if I can say abusive. I don't know the rules yet, but they turn out to be harmful to you, harmful to your family, harmful to your mental health. They turn out to not be nothing like what you thought you was getting, because you came into that wrong in the first place. We have to do things with more purity of heart. We gotta operate more like that. We have to get back to that, because all this, I'm just get in and see what I can get. You gonna get nothing you want. You might get what you want on the front end, but those end results gonna look exactly like what you came into it with. Very, very low vibrational. So those 3 questions, ask yourself those 3 questions, and that will help you, one, determine if you missed it, or you just weren't paying attention or ignored it. And that's going to help you figure out how to move forward and what to do differently. Don't just keep moving through life like there is no information, like there is no help, like there is nothing you can do for yourself to improve the quality of your situation. Because again, for me, a lot of this is about healing by way of self-mastery and spirituality. I need for you to know, I need for you to be dialed into that self-mastery, spirituality. Knowing yourself on a deeper level will greatly help you in moving through this world, how you move through life, and in determining what to do and not to do. A lot of times we be thinking we'll have the advice and we'll have the guidance, and it be in us. Just ask yourself the right questions. Anyway, that's what I have for y'all today. I hope this was helpful to somebody. Like the video, leave a comment, or leave a little heart if it was helpful to you. And y'all be well. I'm going to do the same.